Okay, what is going on, guys? It is another movie review here at Pop Culture Crisis, and I want to talk about Extraction 2. I just got done watching it, and I loved it. Okay, I loved the first Extraction with Chris Hemsworth, and this one is above and beyond leagues better than the first one. First things first, the returning cast that we see, we do in fact see Chris Hemsworth come back as Tyler Rake, which is a fantastic character name, so good job on the writers for coming up with such an iconic sounding name. In fact, it gets mentioned at the end of it. Goldshifter Farahani as Nick Khan, and Adam Bessa as Yaz Khan. And I'm going to tell you right now, there's a lot to love about this movie. The number one thing that people are going to talk about, and in fact, my instinct is to talk about, is the action, because the action is fantastic. There is a 21-minute one-take action scene that is absolutely going to blow your mind. It is kinetically filmed. It is unbelievably fast-paced. It is tightly edited. They use the bulk of the CGI budget on the scenes in this part of the movie, which wouldn't have been able to do otherwise, and it takes you from the inside of a prison to the outside of a prison, onto a train. There's helicopters. There's all sorts of stuff. It's absolutely fantastic. It never lets up, and that really does set the pace for the rest of the movie. Now, one of the things that you could have complained about in the first one, and you would have been absolutely right, is that it was almost all action and very little in the way of emotional weight. This one does not have that problem at all. This one has a surprising amount of heart and emotion behind it towards the end. So in this film, Tyler Rake, he is retired from mercenary work when he is once again recruited by this time recruited by Idris Elba. He's pulled out of retirement. Idris Elba's character's name is Alcott, and he is pulled out of retirement because his ex-wife's sister is in prison with her kids because her very, very bad person husband is keeping them locked in there. He's the head of a criminal syndicate, and that is the plot. And if it sounds thin, it kind of is, but you don't really need it because the action is what takes you off on this amazing journey. And the fact that they managed to pull emotional scenes at the end of this film between the character played by Goldshifter Farahani, the character of Nick, between Rake and Nick's brother, as well as between Rake's ex-wife, who is played by the fabulous Olga Kurylenko, who I've not seen in a very long time. She comes in towards the end of the movie. It was really, really great to see here. Look, if I had some gripes about this movie, I have my own sort of issues with certain aspects of a lot of these Russo brother productions, mainly the kind of really, really washed out pale color palette, which I just don't find very nice to look at most of the time. It's almost kind of odd because in a lot of ways, I do enjoy the fact that you're not getting stuck with the same blue-yellow color palette that all of Hollywood seems to use. This movie has a color palette that feels like it runs from a weird type of washed-out sepia tone to just downright almost, halfway to black and white in a monochromatic sort of way. It lends itself to the tone of the movie because the tone of the film is very, very stoic, much like the character, right? Until you get to those emotional moments later, you're going through so much action that the tone of the movie is kind of nonstop. So it feels like it works there. I'm telling you guys, it's worth it watching. Remember, this movie's on Netflix. You don't have to go pay anything beyond your Netflix subscription to watch it. It is worth watching to see this scene of them escaping the prison. It's also a fantastic example of a way you can use a female character that does not have any, the character itself doesn't have any action background, where she can help take care of herself while very clearly being protected by Tyler Rake. They do a great job by giving this mother a shovel a shovel that she uses to protect herself, and it's fantastically done. And as you're watching it, it's very, very difficult to see where the cuts are made. When you see these one-take shots, there's still cuts there, but they're just expertly hidden, and this movie does a fantastic job in here. Honestly, though, as much as I love Chris Hemsworth in this role, and he does a fantastic job, when they give him emotional stuff at the end, he pulls that performance through, but it's his ability to do the stoic action hero stuff that really sells it. But to me, it's the character of Nick Khan, played by Golshifteh Farahani, that really, really sold the emotion on this movie to me. Now, there was a little of that in the first one, but I was honestly unbelievably surprised at the way you see she has a very, very emotional moment near the end with her brother, and then another very emotional moment with one of the captive's children later on in the film. And it feels like, now this is what I felt before I saw the emotional work from Hemsworth as Rake with his ex-wife. I really felt like what they did was they gave this character of Nick Khan, who is she's the strong, independent woman, as much as we make fun of that trope, but it works. Like, you don't know why it works, but it works in this film, and they're not afraid to let her be emotional. She's an extremely effective actress when it comes to the scenes where she really needs to show the risks and the bad outcomes that can happen in the line of work they do. And I don't believe that if they didn't have an actress that was able to pull these performances out of these scenes, I don't think that those moments at the end would have worked as well. And I think the resulting outcome would have been a very, very one-note bland action movie, which the Russo brothers and Agbo Productions have done plenty of times already. I've had very big problems with Citadel. I really don't like Citadel. I was fine with The Gray Man. It was whatever. But if you were looking for the blueprint for how to do these they feel in a way like we're watching the, these geezer, they call it the geezer teaser, right? It's the movies you see at the Blockbuster, at the Walmart in the $5 movie bin. And it's got the one big action hero from the 80s. And it just feels like a vehicle for that old guy to make an action movie. This is the blueprint on how to do this in modern day with actual action stars if it's not going to go to the theaters. And I really do believe that in a lot of ways, that very, very expertly done 21-minute scene deserved to be seen in a theater in a way that none of the other action movies made by the Russo brothers and Agbo Productions really seemed to merit in a lot of ways. So I really, really enjoyed that. Look, Golshifteh Farahani, she reminds me in a way of Archie Punjabi when she joined the show Blind Spot, in which she had come from another realm of acting and been pulled into something that was, it was half FBI thriller, it was half spy thriller, and she really, really leaned into it in a way that I really, really enjoyed, and I got some of that performance here, almost in a way pulling the emotional performances off better than I felt Archie did when she was on that show. There's a scene where Tyler Rake has to save her as she's knocked out, and she's slowly sliding off a glass roof off the top of a building. It is incredible. Like, I would have loved to have been in the production room when they were storyboarding that scene, because I think it came out perfectly. The bad guys in this movie are it's very much in the way of a lot of these films, meaning that they're generically evil. There is an emotional reason for the bad guy because his brother was the one that Tyler kills at the beginning of the movie. But to me, it's a one-note thing. As emotional as that story could be, it still feels in many ways like generic villain, which is fine. It works perfectly well here. Guys, I can't recommend this movie enough. It's on Netflix. You don't need to go out into the theaters to see it. If you've got a bigger TV, put it on a big screen TV for that long 21-minute action scene. Go check this movie out this weekend. It was a lot of fun. And given the end credit scene in which they reintroduce Idris Elba's character of Alcott, it looks like they're looking to take the character of Nick Khan and the character of Tyler Rake and turn this into a franchise of films far beyond just Extraction 1 and Extraction 2. Given the fact that they've proven that they can make a better sequel than the original, I'm here for it. So I can't give this movie a higher recommendation. I had a lot of fun. I say go and check it out right now. That's it for now. Let me know, guys, if you liked it. Leave a comment down below. I'd be interested to know what you guys think. People get up in arms a little bit about my rating system. I'm not going to give this one a rating. I'm just going to say I think you should go watch it. Let me know down in the comments if you agree. We'll be back with more movie reviews soon. And remember, Pop Culture Crisis is here Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, noon Pacific. Join us every day during the week. See you soon, guys. Thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.